7 kam er zur PDC. Längst ist er einer aus den Top 10. Er spielt aktuell seine zweite Premier League-Saison. Die Rede ist von The Cobra, Jelle Klaasen. ...24 Jahre ist der Gegner von Jelle Klaasen. Jung, kommt ebenfalls aus den Niederlanden, hat im vergangenen Jahr ein tolles Jahr hingelegt mit 3 Pro-Tour-Siegen. Damit hat er sich unter die Top 16 der Welt gespielt. Aktuell steht er auf Weltranglistenplatz Nummer 15 und wenn er kommt, dann hat die Stunde geschlagen. Big Ben, Benito van der Paas.
But there will be a Dutchman in the final of the German Darts Championship here in Hildesheim. That's confirmed after the number 1 seed, Michael van Gerwen, defeated Ian White, and will take on the winner of this one between Jelle Klaasen and the number 4 seed, Benito van der Paas. Still possible that our semi-finals could be made up of the top 4 seeds, with Wright and Suljevic still to come. But it's a difficult one to call this, because Van der Paas and Jelle Klaasen, who's the higher ranked player on the order of merit and a Premier League star for another week at least, have had some very close encounters in the past, and Rob Malarkey is going to tell you about some of them.
Yeah, really difficult match to weigh up. I'm never really quite sure how to look at the past meetings and whether to read too much into them in terms of, you know, they're all independent events and whether they have any bearing. I think if somebody like Peter Wright has lost 16 times to Michael van Gerwen, it can begin to play on someone's mind. But yeah, these two do know each other very well indeed. They met in the Players' Championship earlier this month, in fact. A match that Van der Paas won by 6 legs to 5, but it was 6-5 the other way when they last met on the European Tour in Mulheim last September. So, read into that what you will.
Well, the trend is that we
First leg, Benito
might not know who is likely to come out on top, but we know that it's probably going to be close.
I would hazard a guess that we will have at least 10 legs here, I think, in this one. Van der Paas
140
with the honour of getting us going in this second quarter-final, playing for the right to meet Michael van Gerwen in the semis later on this evening.
140.
He is safely through, beating Ian White by 6 legs to 3. Difficult to read too much as well, or difficult to know how to read Jan Dekker's defeat earlier by Van der Paas. 6-0 the score.
60.
6 out of 13 on the doubles, an average of 92 and a bit. But Dekker just didn't really turn up today.
140.
Yeah, one of 2 men to average in the 70s today. The other one was the man that Jelle Klaasen beat, Dave Chisnell. First time he's ever averaged below 80 on record, at least. We can't find any record of Dave Chisnell playing so poorly.
But yeah, Klaasen averaging 82.5 in that one as well, so it was hardly vintage stuff from either player. It was a very scratchy performance by both Chisnell and by Klaasen.
We spoke about it before, Rob, didn't we? The difference in attitude in having to prepare for potential 4 matches rather than just the one, and maybe we'll just see a different performance level from this pair tonight.
Yeah, once you've got the first one out of the way, the shackles are off, and the fact that so many players seem to be below par earlier on today does lend some weight to that particular theory. Van der Paas here looking at 1-2-7, treble 19 would leave the bull. What a steal that would have been, but Klaasen has a chance to break it.
Yeah, well, both players missing the bullseye for similar finishes in the very first leg of the match. But Jelle Klaasen lands double 4 and does break. Couldn't ask for a better start than that, and a couple of fist pumps to his management team and friends in the crowd.
Yeah, Jelle 6 doubles from 21 against Chizzy. He missed 13 of his first 15 attempts as well, so that's an illustration of how nervy that particular encounter was for him.
The potential of him and Michael van Gerwen playing on the European Tour stage, they've had some absolutely cracking matches, haven't they? Michael van Gerwen usually ends up coming out on top, but Jelle Klaasen has beaten him before on the European Tour.
Yeah, they played here, in fact, in Hildesheim 2 years ago.
77.
I think that was in the quarter-finals that year. en route to Michael van Gerwen winning the
95.
what was then the first European Tour title of 2015. Won the first 5 that year, Michael van Gerwen. Or won the first 4. Won 5 in total.
Yeah,
134.
first 3 last year as well, so usually gets off to a flying start on the European Tour. Jelle Klaasen has been in this position plenty of times. It's his 10th European Tour quarter-final. Benito van der Pas playing in his 6th. Now 1-3-2. He's missed the dart of the bullseye already, and he's going to get another.
107.
Again, that first start looked to be a nice marker for him. Guiding that one in, that's found 9, so Topsy wants here.
27.
Van der Pas has another chance to break back. 25 the target again here. Similar finale to this leg as the first, perhaps, but maybe the roles reverse this time. Double 8 for Van der Pas to level the match.
The second leg, Benito van der Pas. The leg Benito
So 2 breaks,
Ropas.
2 finishes
Game on.
of 25, level pegging, and on we go.
Yeah, the break cancelled out by Benito, and he's kicking off well. Well, the first start looked very, very
100.
clever, but really spread out the next 2. You see Klaasen with some kind of support on his wrist there, because we all know about the injury that he's been suffering with.
Yeah, Klaasen's got a good record here in Hildesheim. He made the semi-finals of the German Darts Championship 3 years ago. He reached the final last year, of course, hoping to go one better.
174.
The final last year was played the day before his birthday. He was not in any mood to celebrate afterwards whatsoever.
83.
At the time, he said he probably wouldn't get a better chance to win a European Tour title. Well, he's making a good case for one here.
57.
He was a quarter-finalist at the subsequent European Championship in Belgium at the end of October as well. He lost 10-3 to Van Gerwen that day.
140. You require 170.
Benito van der Pas has the highest checkout of the tournament so far, over 161. That hit in his match against Jan Dekker. Actually, it was Jan Dekker was looking like he might actually win a leg there, and Van der Pas pulled that rabbit out of the hat.
Yeah, he did indeed.
But Klaasen has the better record of this pair. He's won 5 of their 7 meetings. This is actually the latest stage that they've ever met in a PDC event.
$27.
So chance here for Klaasen to break. The 3rd successive break this would be. Yeah, he's got it, so double 12. Ooh, just 74. On the wire.
So Van der Pas 2 darts, probably a double 4. Marker.
1.
On the wrong side of it, so Klaasen was pretty close with the last visit. Now can he clip off that across to double 6? Double trouble.
18.
Yeah, both players having troubles on their doubles. Klaasen certainly had this particular disease against Chizzy in his match earlier today. On we go.
Oh, no score.
Well, Van der Pas will be feeling a sense of dis-ease after seeing that one drift into the 13. Jelle now wants double 1.
No score.
Yeah, interesting change of tack there, but...
Thank you, thank you. A shot in the 3rd leg.
A 22 darts hold of throw for Benito van der Pas, but my word, that was a messy leg.
Well, he's enjoyed it. See in the background there, encouraging some adulation from the crowd. But especially in a best of 11 contest, those kind of legs are just as important as the 12 and 15 darters. They'll just get one leg on the board.
43.
Yeah, if you lose them, it can feel a bit of a sickener. You know, at least if you lose a 10-dart leg, you think, well, there's not really much I can do about that. But the ones like that where they go on and on, you think, well, I had my chances there, and it might
100.
play on your mind a bit longer.
Seems to be contagious as well, doesn't it? They just, the amount of times you do see those kind of legs where both players kind of make a mess of it on the doubles.
140.
Well, we're going to have played 4 legs without seeing a maximum. Surprise from this pair. Will we see a big checkout? 2 on the board now. This one's not possible anymore.
53, you equal 140.
Might have one here. Definitely might have one here, double 10.
130. Benito, you require 68.
And it's left him in dodgy double territory again, but you'd expect Van der Pas to clean up this 68 for a break.
Ooh, just, yeah, anyway, it would have not mattered for tops, but double 16 it is anyway.
Benito Van der Pas. 5th leg, Benito to throw first.
Sometimes players there just kind of make sure by plonking it in the middle of those two, and they're happy to go for either double.
Way, yeah. I mean, if you've got a strict preference for double 16, it's an issue. But anyway, Van der Pas gets over the line, 3-1.
60.
Yeah, Van der Pas with that 161 checkout earlier today. I think checkout of the day might have to go so far to Gerwyn Price, given the situation when he took out that 148 against Kevin Painter.
Yeah, he's getting a bit of a name for himself doing that kind of thing. The 160 against Ian White. Now Van der Pas switches.
177.
Haven't had a 180 yet, but there's a 177. Well, we haven't had a 180 yet.
139.
Switched as well. Van der Pas in a solid shape now. You can find a couple of trebles here.
58.
Well, it's been far from vintage stuff from either player so far. But Van der Pas won't mind. He has a 3-1 lead here.
But the break could be about to be cancelled out by Klaasen. Interesting to see which route he goes, because he's changed his tact. He used to leave double 18 all the time. He started leaving tops.
82.
Usual shot here is bullseye. Now he will leave tops by landing single 17 and pins it.
To the 5th leg. Yellow Klaasen.
Well, that's more like it from Yellow Klaasen.
6th leg yellow to throw first. Game on.
That's better finishing. Very good on the approach play. Neatly finished off and starting off leg 6 very nicely as well.
Well, we didn't see Michael van Gerwen have a maximum. We've not seen one from either of these. What on earth's going on, Rob?
77.
It has been a strange session and a bit so far.
100.
Ian White incidentally had a couple.
To no avail.
Yeah, it didn't help him.
58.
And, well, Joe Cullen, I think, had 5 against Sulovic, but again, didn't really matter in the end.
140.
Well, that was begging for it.
But down to a finish very quickly indeed. 9 darts down to 1-2-1, and Van der Pas is well adrift here. Needs to just register something. That's not enough. Certainly not enough to put any pressure on Klaasen here.
65.
That's okay. Can Van der Pas breathe down his neck a little?
Go on, can we get one here? Yes, we can.
180.
It's been a long time coming. Top slow for Klaasen to level.
Shot in the 6th leg.
And there we are.
7th leg Benito to throw.
And Yellow Klaasen raced to the hockey so quick that George Noble's 180 call that we've been waiting for so long had to be cut short.
It was stuck in his throat, wasn't it?
60.
It was 100, a yellow, you cry 56.
81.
So both these players have played in a European Tour final before. Klaasen here last year, Van der Pas in Riesa in 2015.
123.
Neither has managed to take the next step. Certainly 2 players who are capable of doing so, and perhaps in the non-too-distant future as well. Maybe
140.
Even tonight, but you suspect there will have to be a step up in class for either to dispose of Van Gerwen in the semis.
Both men have beaten him
97.
on the European Tour.
This is true.
Michael van Gerwen said that he played rubbish, something like that, against Ian White. I
177.
think a few players wish they could play that rubbish.
And win a quarter-final 6-3. That's as good as a 180, by the way, for Van der Pass. We might give him that.
You require 24.
That's another maximum in my book. Anyway, double 12 for Benito here to get his nose back in front, and that is precisely what he's done. Just when it looks as though Klaasen was just beginning to build a bit of momentum.
100.
He's momentarily stopped in his tracks because he's out of the blocks with a ton 80.
That's his first. And George Noble finally gets to do the proper call. Now Van der Paas going all around the board to fire in 3 darts
74.
in requisite trebles, and both players off with perfect starts, but that's been short-lived.
81.
Hmm.
98.
They have gone up a level, haven't they, in the last couple of legs?
100.
Both players,
Well, the averages have certainly gone up.
yeah, flirting with 100 now.
Yeah, Yellow was down at 87, 88 not so long ago. He's certainly raised his game as far as that particular stat is concerned. Van der Paas
99.
likewise.
You require 140.
Well, he's given himself a chance to break here because only he
100.
requires 1
You
treble
require 130.
in the 130 combination. And there it is. So bullseye then for a killer blow.
105. You require 40. You've shot in the 8th leg. Yellow Klaasen.
Dimitri Vandenberg watching on.
Benito to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, he's in the same management stable as Yella.
97. $42.
Klaasen's already made 2 semi-finals in 2017, so despite his troubles in the Premier League and his injury problem,
140.
he's doing all right.
$134.
Yeah, I think if there was any serious question mark about the wrist injury, I think he may have withdrawn from this. The fact that he's turned up and is here suggests that it's something he can
84.
live with for now, at least, as long as he doesn't aggravate it further. Certainly putting a lot of hours on the practice board this weekend
60.
as well.
Well, it's a big carrot, isn't it? £25,000 and an elusive European Tour title.
96.
Well, this is a very, very good setup shot. 171 to apply the
You
pressure.
require 84.
10 points behind Van der Paas. He really wants to see the first dart going treble. Oh, oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear.
44. You require 94.
Double-double on double 19. Oh, what a shot that is from Jelle Klaasen. A break of throw. And this game has just turned around
to throw first.
in a blink of an eye.
Game on.
Klaasen now throwing for the match.
Well, we've seen him do that before as well. And
100.
such a bold move rewarded there. Well, I predicted at least 10 legs, and that's exactly what we were in for here. Whether Van der Paas can force a decider or not, only time will tell.
115.
That's not a bad start.
I'm a fan of the double-double route with 2 darts in hand. It's a bigger
100.
target, especially when your opponent's waiting on a double of their own. A lot of players would go double 18, double top there with 76 left, but Klaasen does like the 19s. And it's the same target as well for a rhythm player.
Yeah.
Look at that for rhythm.
180.
Having hit, what, 3 treble 19s as well, just before.
121.
Yeah, good point.
You know, he was clearly focused on that area of the board as well. And like I say, we saw him do it a few times last year as well.
Well, Benito threatening a break back here, though. That treble really helps his cause. He's down to a reasonable finish. Klaasen's going to be waiting on top.
140.
Got to go, Rob.
Do you require 112?
Yes, it certainly does. Well, he's taken out some big checkouts this weekend, a 161 earlier today, but, well, might be in business here. Double 16. Easy. Needed that. You feel he needed that.
Yeah, you require 40.
Jelle Klaasen then looking at his new favourite double top, and that's why
and the match,
Klaasen moves through to the semi-final to take on Michael van Gerwen. It all turned around when he got that breaker throw with a sensational 2 double 19 check out to finish 94. He bins Benito van der Paas, consigned into history in the German Darts Championship. The number 4 seed is out, and it's Klaasen that moves through to last 4. We'll hear from him in just a moment, and then we'll be back with our 2 remaining quarterfinals. The next one is Peter Wright against Kim Huybrecht.
Ein Applaus für Benito van der Paas. Jelle, good vibrations in Hildesheim. Still in the tournament, congratulations.
Yeah, I'm happy with this game. I played well, pretty focused, not as loose as the last 2 matches, but no, I'm happy with this performance.
I was thinking about taking the wrist problems if I could reach a semi-final.
Yeah, imagine what could happen when I'm healthy. No, I'm feeling good, and the crowd is great, so they give me a lot of energy.
Yeah, it's a great atmosphere, huh, this whole weekend, yeah. Michael van Gerwen is the next one. We all know, tough match.
Yeah, of course. I think if I play like this, I have a chance, but you have to hit all the doubles against him. He doesn't miss, so I have to play my best, and it's going to be difficult, but I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that. Thank you very much. Jelle Klaasen. Freut sich auf das Duell mit Michael van Gerwen. Wird im Halbfinale auf MVG treffen und sagt, ja, mit den Handgelenkproblemen, lässt sich ja in Zukunft in ein paar Wochen operieren. Das hat funktioniert, das hat geklappt. Ein gutes Match von ihm, und er meint, wenn er so spielt gegen van Gerwen, dann hat er eine Chance. Er muss halt die Doppel treffen. Van Gerwen wird wenige Fehler machen. Drittes Viertelfinale ist das Match von Peter Wright, der herausgefordert wird vom Belgier Kim Huybrecht. Bis gleich.